So you're wanting to move to the Boise, Idaho area, but you don't know which of the 9 cities to land in. This video is for you. We're gonna dive into all of them. Meridian, Kuna, Star, Eagle, Nampa, Caldwell, Middleton, all of them. I'm gonna tell you which ones I like best. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm actually even gonna throw in Emmett in this list too, because Emmett deserves to be talked about. I love it up there. Not my #1 spot, but you will love #1 as well. I've lived in 4 cities in the Treasure Valley, and I love everywhere I've been. I love where I'm at now. So let's dive in, get you going in Boise, Idaho. You've probably landed on my channel because you're seeking freedom. You want to get to somewhere that's different than where you're at, probably California or Washington or somewhere that's very similar in terms of its big brother overreach. And you're trying to get here because people love the freedom that's going on here. Very, very good community as a whole in the whole valley. No place is perfect, right? There's going to be drawback here or there. We don't have hurricanes. We don't have alligators. We don't have sharks. We don't have humidity. We don't have earthquakes. Like everything about Boise in general is just fantastic. I really love it. It's a little dry. In the summer, it can get a little hot. We have very high extremes and we have some low lows. Not as low as Salt Lake City, not as low as Eastern Idaho, not as low as Northern Idaho. That's the general overview. Diving into the top 9 cities, the first one we land on is Nampa. Nampa lands at number 9. Nampa is a growing community, currently 120,000 plus residents, growing about 3% clip per year. That's pretty significant. Nampa's average household income, $86,000. I just got into a long debate with a lot of people on Instagram. I don't know why people think that getting in the comments of some random realtor of a city they're never gonna move to is the thing to do on a weekend, but they were having at it and they have no intention of moving here. We're fighting about incomes. When I take the average household income in Nampa and all these incomes, this is household, not individual. So if you have one person earning $100,000 and the other person earning 0, that's 100. If 2 people are earning 60, that's 120, right? So average household income, $86,000 in Nampa, not the lowest in the valley. The highest is about 24,000 more. According to a local news channel here in town, Nampa is the 2nd fastest growing community in the Boise Valley. That actually did surprise me. For the last 12 months in Nampa, the median home price is $420,000. You'll find homes lower than $100,000 in Nampa. That's usually going to be a mobile home or what type of situation. But the highest price we've had in Nampa is $3.5. There are some beautiful, beautiful homes. Usually the more expensive ones are South Nampa because they're out there with views of the Owyhees or Lake Lowell or whatever it might be. There's also nice homes North Nampa as well. I'm not sure the last one. I'm thinking of a couple of equestrian places that are, they're 2, 3, 4, 5 million if they were to go for sale. So they're all over Nampa. Let me tell you something though. Before we moved to Middleton, we put an offer on a house in North Nampa. The house was very nice. Had 2 acres. It was in a small little lane of a subdivision. We thought we had landed in heaven. We thought it was gonna be ours. We got bid out by a couple people who went $200,000 above us. And guess what? Market seemed to be the peak when we were offering, so we're glad we didn't get that. And we love Middleton where we're at too. But I say that story to tell you that I do approve of Nampa. The one thing you have heard about Nampa is the sugar beet factory. It's real. I was playing golf last night about 2 miles due east of the sugar beet factory and didn't smell it. You smell it like legitimately, I think like once every 4 weeks. And it's really not that bad percentage wise. When the smell comes, I don't like it at all. I've had clients who are in town like, oh, that's not that bad. It's, that's not as bad as people make it out to be. And then you have other people say, oh yeah, that's not desirable. So it's really, some people's noses just, it hits them different, I think. Not my preferred. But the winds usually come from the west and go east or northwest and go southeast, kind of that. So that's usually where the smell goes. If the valley is stagnant, I have smelt the sugar beet factory all over Boise because it just goes everywhere. And it's kind of faint when you're, 20 miles away, but it can permeate quite a distance. Number 8, a place that used to seem so far out there, full of a lot of dairy farms, is a place where 2 of my best friends live, and it's only about 30 minutes away from here. It's one of my daughter's best friend's place as well. Kuna, Idaho, good place, great high school. Literally used to just be dairy farms, it seemed like, and it was like a huge ag community. Now it's a little bit different than that. About 30,000 people live in Kuna. That used to be around 24,000 in 2020, so post-influx of remote workers, if you will. I hate to say those words on these videos. I think you guys know what I'm hinting at. You can be canceled for a lot of things. So I don't try not to say those words, but that's why you're probably coming here, as we love the people coming here that are seeking the lifestyle. Freedom, less big brother, less smog, less homelessness, less violence, less crime, all that stuff. So Kuna is a great place for all that. Household income in Kuna, $101,000, poverty rate of 7.35%. And then looking at some of the stats here, the lowest home price we had in Kuna was $230,000 in the last 12 months. Highest sale price, surprisingly, actually this does shock me a lot, only $1.789 million. I would have expected that to be around $3 million. There are some sweet places there with some nice acreage. What I love about Kuna though is its location, because it's like this secluded community and then you're only 10 minutes from Lowe's, Home Depot, restaurants, the freeway. They can get backed up on Meridian Road going from Kuna to the freeway at rush hour times. I think if you live in Kuna, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But that's probably the knock on Kuna, is that it might be a little secluded, it might have a little traffic getting out there. But if you like small town feel, it's still one of those communities where the people show up for Friday night lights. It's kind of like in Middleton. Middleton and Kuna have had similar vibes in the past. In the last 12 months, as you'll see soon, Middleton's numbers are starting to look different, which is interesting. I think it's the Eagle effect, living closer to Eagle. I don't know what else it would be. Kuna is a great place to live. Would I live there? 100% I would, and I could live on most parts of that town. I've sold plenty out there. The first YouTube buyers I had, Bobby and Ryan, you guys probably don't know, you probably don't watch this channel anymore. Bobby and Ryan, I texted Bobby last night because she got promoted and she got a new job, and they were my first people, put them in Kuna, toured Kuna many times. Great place, like I said, great Friday night feel, you know, type of community, not too far from the main stores, and prices are decently low. You might not know this, and nor do you care probably, but my address is actually a Caldwell address, not Middleton. I say I live in Middleton, but I have a Caldwell address. Why is that? Ask the post office if you're wondering. Post office is what determines what city goes on your mailing address. Not sure if you knew that or not. I just learned that like a year ago. But I do live in Caldwell. I live across the street from Middleton High School. I live across the street from city limits. And so we're just out in the county. And they give us the Caldwell designation based on the post office. So why does Caldwell come in at number 7? Because generally speaking, I don't consider where I live Caldwell. Caldwell I consider more to be south of the Boise River. And if you're looking at a map, I don't know if that's the exact definitive line, but that's where I would put it at, is that Boise River. There are some things south and north there. But anyway, generally speaking, Boise River is going to put what I call Caldwell. In the last 5 years, it's grown by 13,000 people. It's currently at 73,000 people. It used to be at 60,000 at 2020. That's a 3.62% increase, and that's per year, and 21.15% increase total over that span. Household income in Caldwell, $75,000. That's one of the lower ones in the valley. In fact, I think it is the lowest. And poverty rate in Caldwell is 13.33%. There are portions of Nampa and Caldwell City that, when downtown, the poverty is more apparent. But having said that, you drive through those streets actually to get from like the freeway to Northwest Nazarene University or to get to Nampa High, just the way the roads are laid out, you drive through some of the lesser income parts. And it's not like driving through where my dad lived going to dental school at USC. He lived in the Crenshaw district. And I remember him showing us his, you know, hey, I used to live in that house. That's where Mrs. Place lived. And I was his neighbor. And this is when I told you the story about this happening, that was right there. He's like, got the windows down, pointing like, Dad, can we put the windows up and just go on? I'd rather go somewhere else and have you tell me the story. Let's take a picture and maybe point out some things. Because I don't feel safe here. That's not how you feel anywhere in Boise. I don't know of one place, and maybe I'm naive. I'm 40, I've lived here 35 years of my life, 34, I don't know. But like, I'm talking about college, as when I was away from Boise, and then 2 years at post-college, I lived in Utah doing a sales job. I just don't know of any part in Boise that I don't feel comfortable walking down. Legitimately, I don't know of one place. I don't know if that's the same in your community now. I'm doubting it. I'm guessing that's why you're watching this, is you're seeking some of that good lifestyle. So when people come to me and they say, hey, we want good schools, we want safety, like, guys, you've hit the jackpot. This hit the whole place. You're choosing between good, better, and best, and a lot of that is just preference based on your family, your situation. The highest home price sell in Caldwell in the last 12 months, 1.93 million, lowest 110, and the median is 396. Those numbers, you can compare that and stack that up to the other communities. That's probably a little lower. I mean, Caldwell's 1.93. You've got some nice places. You got a couple acres, a 4,000 square foot home with a view. Like, you can get a lot of bang for your buck based on Caldwell. When I was growing up, I mean, Caldwell address now, growing up 20 years ago, I'm ashamed to admit this, I probably wouldn't have wanted that. I think the perception's changing though, especially with what they're doing in downtown Caldwell, Indian Creek Plaza. There's a bunch of events. What they're trying to do is go to the heart of Caldwell and just expand it and make it grow and be better from the inside out. So it's working. Caldwell's changing. Absolutely love Caldwell. It's 10 minutes away and we've got everything we want. And if we'd stop there another 5 minutes down the road, we go to Nampa's exit, we've got everything we need. Number 6, a place that hasn't cracked the top 10 in any of my videos, I don't think any time, only because I don't think I've appreciated it. I've had to go there a few times since living in Middleton. When I lived in Eagle, we went there a few times as well. I just feel like it's growing on me. I love the small town, super secluded, get only 20 minutes away from a Costco, and that is Emmett. Emmett is coming in at a solid 6 for me this time. Population only 9,000 people, and that's why I love it. They have a Dairy Queen, a McDonald's, Subway, and they have a few at Albertsons. They have a few those things you'd expect to see in any town, but after that, you know, it's Brian's Bakery, it's Cassandra's Creamery, it's the diner, it's the drive. Do they have a drive-in there? I have actually some video, I hope I can find it and put on this video for you. They have a drive-in where you legit pick up a Ring phone, it connects with a corded telephone, and you call in your order and you can hear the sound. I was amazed how the sound, it takes you back. Anyway, really, Ray Ann's, what's that? They have great burgers. It was fun. I've only done it once, but it was an experience and I'll go back again. The food is good and the experience is better. I just love it. I love that stuff. You know, it's small town, it's quiet, it's slow moving. It just seems like the birds chirp and the crickets are heard at night. The sunsets are beautiful. It's in a valley setting. It's just fun. I mean, talk about a community that comes out for Friday Night Lights. That's it. It's in Emmett. And by the way, football is not even the sport I'm like biggest about. I love the feeling that when the community comes out for football games and like it's not just a big city and like it's one of many, and you know, I really like when the community gets behind those high school sports. It's fun. Population in 2020 was 7,721. It's growing by almost 3% per year. Poverty rate in Emmett is 13%. Roughly, average household income is $87,000. There are some beautiful, beautiful properties that overlook the Payette River that goes through there. The Payette River is an awesome river. Breaks off, goes through. You've got, because it's in a valley, you've got some elevated properties that have views of the whole valley and the river. A couple years ago, there was a place that my clients were looking at that was like 10 or 20 acres and it included some of the river. Yeah, it was just fantastic. They ended up not getting it. They're building right now in Emmett, custom build, but yeah, it's awesome. So highest price 2.3, lowest 125, and median 415. So a little lower, a lot more bang for your buck out in Emmett. Again, that comes with the price of just commuting into the city. About 15 minutes until you get Eagle and Star on the Highway 16, which is being expanded right now to go to the freeway, which is gonna help Emmett get downtown Boise a lot faster, probably like 35 minutes compared to probably 50 right now. So it's gonna help a ton. And then you've also got Emmett Road. The Emmett Road goes by Middleton High School and then heads out to Emmett. Those are 2 ways out to get to Emmett from the Boise Valley. You can also get there from New Plymouth and Fruitland, but that's not really where we're at in this video. So Emmett, awesome place. I could call Emmett home. In fact, my wife, I think if we were to do it again, I think we'd be out in Emmett. She just absolutely loves Emmett. Small town, secluded, slower pace of life, less keeping up with the Joneses, it seems like. Pretty good place. Emmett, number 6. Now, before we get to number 5, if you watch my channel long enough, you know what those cities are gonna be because I talk about them all the time. Those aren't gonna come as a surprise to you. It's where I sell the most, it's where I talk about the most, it's where I am the most. And so it's no surprise that I sell there the most. It's what I enjoy, and so I love talking about them. I really could go on about those cities forever. I've divided one city into 2 parts to give you a clue, North and South Meridian. But before we go on to number 5, guys, if you like these videos, if you find yourself seeking for freedom, if you find yourself wanting to be able to, you know, feel safe with your kids and have good education for your kids, Boise Valley is hands down, I don't know of a better place in America. Like, this place is awesome. But there's no greater compliment than that I received in phone calls, texts, emails from you. The number's on your screen, the email's on your screen. Reach out and we'll get you started on the Buying in Boise Blueprint, helping you find a home faster and not miss out on any homes, not buy a lemon, and not overpay. Like, those are 3 things that this process does every time. I don't want you feeling like you're burdening me. I'm available. Just reach out, we'll get you started. But now, number 5. You want to talk about a community that has just skyrocketed. I would say, a good percentage. It couldn't be over 50 because that'd just be statistically impossible, it seems like. But a lot of Star is filled with fire and ex-fire and police or current fire and police from Southern California. I just don't know what it is, but they just love that place. Currently, the population is 19,000. It used to be in 2020, 11,447. Tons of growth. That's an 8,000 person jump. It's 71%, it says, and that's 9% every year, and you feel it. To me, Star it used to be just this quaint little town. I mean, I had a guy in my basketball team, senior year of high school. He went to Meridian High School because his dad was the assistant coach. And so he had permission to go to our school. He lived in a spot right downtown Star, essentially. And we had I had no idea where Star was when I was 18 years old. I just didn't even know. We had to travel out there. I thought I was in the middle of nowhere. Anyway, Star is growing. It used to be this place that was far out there. Now they've got Albertsons, they've got a car wash being built. They've got one of my favorite fast food restaurants, Teriyaki Madness, being built. They got Cafe Rio, they've got Capriotti's, Dairy Queen. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, the fact that an Albertsons is there and they're getting a Lowe's right now. To me, it's a sea of residential. It used to be really spread out. I used to say all the time, and I believed it until recently I have a new thought, but I used to say what Eagle is today, Star will be in 10 years and Middleton will be in 20. kind of like this progression. I kind of feel like Star is skipping that because of how deeply packed residentially they are. And Star is good, like Star Pond, you've got Pavilion Park, you've got the pickleball place, can't remember the name of it. You've got all the things the mayor is doing there to bring in people and have it be a fun family, like it's a fun family community. It's awesome. Freedom Park is cool. The Frisbee disc golf, of course, they put there. There's so many cool things they're doing, but it is definitely a residential suburbia feel. If you are looking for a great banger of a deal and you want to be, like Toll Brothers owns a ton of that city, it seems like. And I do some videos on why I do not like Toll Brothers. It doesn't come with the quality of their product. It comes with some of the process, a little clunky in the middle. But like I've sold so many Toll Brothers that I stand behind them. I do like them in terms of what I build with them. I certainly would. I just have to be on top of them more. And that's what you have an agent for. If you're looking for a 0.2 acres, 2,600 square foot home, 3,500 square foot home, 1,700 square foot home, you want the HOA pool, you want the community of Star, like great place. If you're needing more land, I think Star is missing that memo. You've got Hillsdale Estates that was kind of its staple. And then you had a lot of the larger lots, like Haven is in there, and that's huge homes, but they're smaller lots. I just think Star is geared more towards the higher density. Sounds bad because it almost sounds like apartments or something, but you're getting about 0.2 acres, it seems like, routinely. I love some of the neighborhoods in there. I could go on about Star and how great it is. I could live in Star. Yeah, what we've chosen to do is get land, so we moved out to Middleton, which is coming on 1 through 4. You don't know where it's gonna land yet. More stats for you on Star. Poverty rate, 8.72%. Median household income, 112. Actually, that was average. Average home price in 2020 was $409. Now we're up to $560, short $5. Lowest sale price in Star, $262,000. And the highest sale price in Star, and this is all the last 12 months, $2.6 million. I got a house listed in Star right now for $1.875. One of the larger ones out there. It's about 7,000 square feet. That's my opinion of Star. Could I see myself living there? No. Would I like living there? Yes. For my lifestyle, I want more land. When we lived in Eagle, we were about a mile from Star, so we would go to church in Star, we would shop in North Meridian, and we'd live in Eagle, if that makes sense. So I feel like I have lived in Star. The Star Parade used to be such that we would leave our house at 9:45 in the morning, drive to our spot on the Star Parade, back up, put the trunk open, watch the parade, and we were home within an hour. Star's changed. When you go from 11,000 residents to 19,000 residents, you can imagine that you have to get there 45 minutes early. It's not the smallish town it was anymore. It's just kind of halfway small. And it's still 19,000 people. It's still small. It's just that it's basically doubled, right, in 5 years. So that causes some growing pains. The mayor there now, I ran into him at the city park. Cool guy. Not only is he trying, but he's doing a lot of cool things for the city of Star. Man, we're like splitting hairs right now because I'm going through and I'm thinking number 4. So I made this list like 3 weeks ago, my top 10. I made them in order. And I'm like, how is this place not number 1? And I look at number 3, look at number 2, and number 1. I'm like, yeah, even number 5. I could see myself choosing Star, which is number 5, over this place, or North Meridian, which is number 4, over number 1, 2, or 3, and making it number 1. There's an argument to be made that all these places are just the best place on earth. There's not one place I've mentioned that I could not live. All of them, 1 through 9. So like when I say we're number 9, like they're all great. They really are. North Meridian's population, 145,000. You want to talk about residential? North and South Meridian are full of residential. Yeah, they do have some infrastructure being built in with some industrial, some commercial, and things like that. For the most part, just a ton of residents. When I went to high school, I tell people this in these videos all the time. I remember seeing the sign at 30 or 33,000 for Welcome to Meridian. So it was at 119,000 in 2020, so it's only grown by 26,000. Still a 3.66% clip. That's 21% overall since that time period. But Meridian's household income is $127,000. So that helps to the look and feel of this whole city. But the median price in 2020 was around $360,000. That's obviously changed. It's about $540,000 now. Lowest price, $245,000. And the highest price was $3.35. That price is probably right along that Chinden area. There's a lot of baller. I mean, there's Castleberry. Oh, you know what? There's an off-market property in Castleberry West that just happened. Except for that might be officially an Eagle address. I think it is an Eagle address. Either way, it's south of that Boise River, so people like myself think it's Meridian. Eagle's boundaries are weird. I've done so many videos on North Meridian. In fact, maybe we can put those here for them. Maybe put one here and here. They can click those and go watch North Meridian. Chinden and Linder is first in Maine. You've got all your groceries. You got 2 grocery stores. You got probably 20 restaurants. You've got 2 car washes on that corner. A mile west of there, you've got Costco. A mile south of Costco, you've got Walmart. Target, which is officially a Boise address, but it's only 3 miles east of that Chinden and Linder on Chinden, which moves. That road moves. So you're only a few miles from Target. A couple miles south of Target, you've got Trader Joe's. The one knock on North Meridian is that it's not close to the freeway. You gotta go through, 6 traffic lights just to get to the freeway. fact, yesterday I was trying to get from Chinden. I was at Chinden and Linder eating at Costa Vida, one of my favorite spots. It's a good, easy spot to take clients to because you can kind of choose your own style of burrito or taco or enchilada, whatever it is. Kind of like a Chipotle type of style. I'm going from there to close to the freeway on 10 miles to Shields, and it took me 12 minutes. And it took me 18 minutes from my house in Middleton to get to Shields because it's all freeway. That just kind of tells you the difference. Like, it's just more compact, there's more cars, and that was at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I wouldn't say it's heavy traffic, it's just normal traffic. Hitting stoplights is normal stuff. It's not more than anywhere else, not less than anywhere else. It's just for 140,000 people in one city, you do feel it. But it's got everything you want, so you don't have to go to the freeway every day. When I lived in Eagle, there was most days I didn't hit the freeway. Now I hit the freeway almost every single day. I hit it yesterday, I hit it today. To each their own, but North Meridian is a place for me, comes in at number 4. Surprising because when I told you I lived in Eagle, shopped in North Meridian. Number 3 I think is gonna shock you a little bit. Number 1 might not as much, but the explanation might not, I don't know. We'll see. Well, all in all, like I said, you're looking for a good place for your family, you're looking for safety, freedom, all that type of stuff, just put all the numbers in a hat. Choose. Actually, one of the things I'll have you do, I'll kind of give you a little spoiler alert. One of the things I'll have you do when you come to Boise is the first day I'll have you actually drive around. We'll go through addresses together and then we'll whittle it down. And then you'll drive the town and you'll actually cross off things off your list. Brianne, yesterday, when she came to town, she said, before she came to town, she didn't want to do South Meridian, and then she fell in love with South Meridian. You will want to drive the town because your perception will change after you're there. Anyway, North Meridian, number 4. Moving on to number 3, which is its sister counterpart. Why would I put number 3, South Meridian, above North Meridian? North Meridian's valued more. Median home price is $10,000 lower than North Meridian. Lowest home price sell was $232,000, which is $13,000 lower, and the highest sell price is $2.75, which is lower than the $3.35 in North Meridian. I'm guessing that home sale was in the keep. You're gonna find the same poverty household income stats because we can't divide that by South and North Meridian. Just as healthy as an area, you've got a lot of residential, you've got construction, widening roads, you've got all that type of stuff. But maybe the biggest reason I like South Meridian at number 3 over North Meridian number 4. Right now, South Meridian's growing at a good clip. I love the stores, I love the access you have there. That it used to be just a little bit harder. It's being built out nicely, slowly. In fact, when I started these videos 4 years ago, it's even changed from then. It's even changing from my last video I did. I feel like I always have to go into town a little bit. Things are being brought out to South Meridian. I have heard that between South Meridian and Kuna is a Costco permit, meaning there's gonna be a Costco being built there. I really like South Meridian's access to the freeway. You can get west or east real fast. That is the biggest differentiator for me between South Meridian and North Meridian. You can make an argument when you're in North Meridian, you don't need the freeway. But if you're going downtown, you gotta take Chinden the whole way in. I would rather be on the freeway and there in 10 minutes than I would be in 20 minutes. So to each their own. South Meridian, number 3, you have my vote, you have my blessing. But if you're coming to town and you don't like it, you like something else, like totally fine. This is just, like I said, put those things in the hat, pick 1 through 9, and you're fine. So why do I value freeway access so much, but then Eagle is at number 2? When you're in Eagle, it feels different. It's in a river valley. It's a little bit more beautiful, a little bit more pristine. We liked our time in Eagle. People who are from Eagle, a lot of times like to let you know they're from Eagle. For example, the average household income in Eagle is $167,000. Poverty rate's way lower at 6%. Population's 33,000 compared to 30,000 a few years ago, but 2020, that's a 7.82% increase since the most recent census there. Lowest home price, $320,000. The last 12 months, the median home price in Eagle has been $877,000. And then the highest home price sell is $4.6. There's some homes that are selling for more than that. There's an off-market home that just sold, they won't tell us, they just said reconstruct the whole thing's gonna be 6 to 8. And that's an Eagle. It's a heck of a home. It's just huge, 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 huge home. Highland Homes, one of the better builders, built that one. I love Highland Homes. It was an awesome home because it was so big, but it was actually, you could see yourself using all the space as opposed to having a study and having an office and having a secondary office and having a book room and having a library and having a sewing room. I just feel like some of those houses get too big for me anyway. I'm just not rich enough to understand, I guess. I just love the little slice of heaven. We lived there for 7 or 8 years. I miss a lot of things about Eagle. It's this mix between clean, pristine, and also the rural country feel, because there's a lot of back roads, they're not dirt roads, but there's a lot of 4-way stop type roads. So you can take the main stuff and you've got what you feel like is a big thriving community, like a busy community, and you also have the back roads. And so it's this really good blend for me. I have fond memories of Eagle. That's probably the biggest thing. I really look back and think those were good days. And we lived our time there in Legacy. 2 hopping neighborhoods in Eagle. Legacy and Dry Creek Ranch. One's on West Eagle, one's on East Eagle. In fact, Dry Creek Ranch is officially Boise address. I just call it Eagle because it's Eagle High. You might have a Boise address, but you're living in Eagle. When you're shopping in Eagle, you're going to church in Eagle, your kids are going to school in Eagle. So it's the duck test. I had somebody get real mad at me on my socials. Why do you keep calling it Boise if it's Eagle if it's Boise? Because it's the duck test. If it walks like a duck, flaps like a duck, talks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. It's what it is with Eagle. It just feels like Eagle for Dry Creek Ranch. And I'm ready to ruffle feathers because number one is not everyone's number one. I don't think it's gonna surprise you. If you know who I am, you know where I live, it's not gonna surprise you that number one, I've got Middleton, Idaho. I love being out here in Middleton. I used to say what Eagle is today, Star will be in 10 years and Middleton will be in 20. I think Middleton is actually hopping Star. I know this sounds crazy, but our median home price is $534 in Middleton. That has increased comparatively speaking. It's closed that gap between, it used to be down there with Kuna. It's way more than Kuna now. Stars is $560. It's still got Middleton. In 2020, the median home price in Middleton was $305,000. Now I just said we're up to $535,000. Highest home sale price was $2.9. That was actually another agent. He sold his own home. He moved over to Star. He moved to Star of a Ranch. And then the lowest home price sale in Middleton in the last 12 months is $193,000. There are a lot of people on larger estates. You know, I'm talking anywhere from 2 to 20 acres. Ton of doctors live out here. Private ponds. I've seen private donations at the high school, $20 million of just dude in Middleton just putting up turf on the high school. Actually, someone I'm well acquainted with. Just a lot of good things happening in Middleton. One of the things I love about where I'm at in Middleton is the freeway access. Like I said, I can get down to Shields in less than 20 minutes from Middleton. So high school Middleton to Shields, 20 minutes. Love that. I love the freeway access. The average household income in Middleton is $93,000. There is a section, the downtown Middleton, I do think will be reshaped and re-energized and flipped in 20 years. Some parts of that need to go. I do like Middleton as a whole though. Obviously it's my number one. Picked up on this video, I like the small town charm. I like the pristine of Eagle. I like the quaint city that Emmett is. Middleton is that combination, at least right now for me. So I do love everything about Middleton. Poverty rate in Middleton is only 7.16%. That's pretty good considering that there's a decent section of Middleton where I would have supposed might have been a little bit higher. Why do I love Middleton so much? It's a small town. We have 3 traffic lights now. 1, 2, no, we have 4. It used to be when I lived here 15 years ago, it was a 1 stoplight town. It's definitely more busy during that school pickup time. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. There's 1 high school, there's 1 middle school, there's 3 elementaries. I love that Friday Night Lights feel. I love the access to be anywhere in 15 minutes I need to be. I mean, 25 minutes if you really draw a big circle. I did physical therapy downtown Boise twice a week for 6 months, and it wasn't too big of a burden. It just kind of comes the commute. I know it sounds weird. We had a tennis match at Boise High for my daughter. This is last year. And I remember one of the Boise High parents saying like, wow, you made quite a trek to come here. And I'm like, this is just the daily, right? And they think it's a trek to go out to Middleton. Might seem far out there for some, but once you're here, you've got the grocery store here, you've got the freeway access, you've got a few restaurants, not much. In fact, I'm going to lunch with a guy next week. He said, your choice on lunch. We both live in Middleton, in the thriving metropolis of Middleton, Idaho, which there's not much. I just love the small town feel. That's what it comes down to. I've also got access to Star. That Star Albertson's 10 minutes away. So to go from my old house to that Star Albertson was 10 minutes. We're not much different to go to some of those things living in Eagle than we are now in Middleton. I just love that location. Highway 16 is gonna help East Middleton. The freeway helps West Middleton, or where I live, Caldwell. So a lot of good things happening in Middleton. But I do wanna give you a quick little bonus for you. I have a brother who lives in Fruitland, Idaho, and Fruitland's my bonus of a gem here. You want to talk about fields and orchards and onion fields and things like that. It's got a ton of space. You get a lot of bang for your buck out there. Median home price is $395, lowest home price is $90, and highest home price sell was a 1.2. I've seen higher than 1.2 because there are some beautiful places out there. I got Payette River going through it. It's known as the Big Apple of Idaho. Population is supposed to be 7,400 by 2025. In 2020, the population was 6,109, so it's still keeping that small town feel. Across the river, you've got all the stores of Oregon. For some reason, when you cross into Oregon, I think you might know this if you're coming from Oregon or Washington or California. When you cross that border, it's like going back in time. There's things that are legalized, there's more drugs, there's more homelessness. It looks like you went back 40 years, and I'm not kidding. But you've got the Home Depots, Walmarts, big restaurants are in Ontario. I'm not sure why I'd put my business in Idaho, but that's just me. So you've got a lot of benefits across the river. if you go over to Ontario in Fruitland, Idaho. If you are thinking about one of these 9 cities to move to, I do want to suggest a video for you to watch. That's the cost of living in Boise, Idaho area. So go watch that video. So now you've learned the areas, you'll learn the costs there. I want you to see that video. I want you to know how good life really is here. There are many, many more videos you can watch. That's the one I suggest for you. So go watch that one right now. Go click it, go watch it. And of course, if you are wanting to buy, coming from out of state, you want the Buying in Boise blueprint. I've done this with dozens and dozens and dozens upon dozens of people. And I take pride in my process, because the process is designed to help you feel secure, to help you not overpay for a home, not miss out on any homes, and not buy a lemon. Those 3 things will help you become a full-fledged freedom-loving Idahoan. You need it, you want it, and I am happy, and it's the biggest, I say it before, I'll say it again, it's the biggest compliment I receive is those phone calls, texts, emails from you saying you would like help moving to the Boise Valley. So let's get you started becoming a full-fledged freedom-loving Idahoan. And of course, if I missed anything, please put it in the comments below. If you have any comments that you just want to add or any questions, please put those in the comments below. I try to get to those weekly and try to keep up on those. But until next time,